Hello and welcome to Sestra-Tainment.
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to everything entertainment.
Absolutely.
So we are going to get started with you first this week, sis. So what do you have
It's been a very
for us?
entertaining week.
It's been an entertaining week, okay.
Very entertaining week.
All right.
But yeah, so I want to start off with the new show that came out on Netflix. It's called Spiderhead.
Oh, I did see something about it, but
I could definitely see this being
know
like something
what it
that
was
would
about.
happen in the future.
Oh, okay.
Right, so like in the close future, like they give like all these convicts, like if you're in jail, they'll give the convicts a chance to be part of the medical study. So you're like just test subjects. You're human lab rats, right? So you do that in order to shorten your sentence.
Okay.
So, but each drug that they're testing on you, like it's like a pack. It literally looks like you're taking like the little O2 cartridges and like sliding it into your back because they're tiny, and it's like a case that's in your back that gives you all these different things. So each drug can give you like a different mood or emotion.
Okay.
Which is really weird, but I could definitely see that happening like in the future. Which like each mood, like they can give you, it's how I explain it. So they can make you feel sad, angry. They can make you feel rage, scared. They can make you fall in love. They can do all of this stuff. But what they have to do is they have to like test you and then keep an eye on you, because it's like everything is, they give you the vial, it's on their phone, and then it's like a way that you can like, you turn up a volume and it's like that on your phone. So it's like you can turn up the dosage, turn it all the way up, turn it down or whatever. And it's kind of crazy, but what they do is after they stop it, they're like, okay, so now did we make this person fall in love with this person when we gave them this much of the love dose? Or did we make this person become angry with this person because we gave them this much of the rage dose?
Okay, gotcha.
So that's like it's kind of weird. I don't know. But I would say that it's not just like the actors and actresses in it are really good. It does have like an actual storyline and everything with it. But the way that all of this works with the science of it all is amazing. I think that's kind of neat. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like it. I like how it is, because like the science of it makes it to where you're like, oh man, like this could really possibly happen if they could figure out how to get those emotions and bottle them. So then like somebody dies and they're just like, hey, you want me to help you make you feel better?
Right.
And then they just go and like give them the laughing one. So now they're happy
to make them happier and to change the
the
emotions and the emotions of people who have been in prison. So if you were a murderer, then we can change your emotions to make it so that you don't have that desire, I guess.
Yeah, but they're just lab rats though. But basically,
be a murderer.
Yeah, but they're I guess they don't really care about the whole murdering thing. I think it's more of them trying to figure out how to control the world.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what that is. So that's what's the scary part about it, because I feel like if somebody learned how to bottle emotions, the world would be like ending. It'd be it.
Yeah, because it would depend on what emotions got to which people.
Exactly.
What they
Because the rage one,
whatever.
you don't want the wrong people getting the rage one. Like you don't want anybody getting the rage one.
Because even if you're a sweetheart, you're gonna be rageful.
Oh yeah. And then the fear one, like one girl, she was just like scared of a stapler.
Oh wow!
Like saying, like screaming and yelling, "Get it away from me!" She's like covered, like she's huddled in the corner.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, and it's like that was the one for fear.
Yeah.
The love one, it makes you see somebody and it makes you think that this person is the most attractive person you've ever seen in your life, and then it's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Like I don't even know how to talk to you. You're so beautiful. It's like it gives you stuff like that. But
then that person may not feel the same way about you, so then it can feel very overwhelming.
Yeah, but then they'll
person.
give it to both people.
Oh, okay.
To test it out to see how it goes.
Lovely.
But then when they cut it off, then you're just like, oh wait, oh wow, why are we making out? Like,
yeah, who are you?
yeah, exactly. So it's kind of crazy. Kind of it reminds me of if you've ever seen The Kingsman.
Yes.
It's like part of the movie where he's sitting in the church and then the sound goes off and everybody in the church starts fighting each other.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that when it goes to the rage one, because the rage one, like this lady is like ready to kill somebody.
Yeah.
She's like throwing stuff, and it's just and it's just crazy. But it's really good. Like, so with the cast, you got Chris Hemsworth,
Okay.
who's
He's
Thor.
like, Thor.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And what's his role? Because I feel like I did.
He's
now that
the
you're talking
scientist.
about it.
He's
I thought
the
that he was
I guess
like a therapist or
the
scientist.
therapist.
Or
Yeah, he's one of the guys doing the study.
Okay, gotcha.
And then you have Miles Teller, who is a really good actor. He's been on a whole bunch of stuff. You've seen him before and stuff. But he is a really good actor.
Is he the one on Top Gun now too?
I don't know. I haven't
Let me
seen
look him
Top
up.
Gun,
Okay,
and I've
yeah.
heard really good things about Top Gun too. Actually,
Yeah, I have
but
too.
yeah,
I'll have to
but you
check
got
it
him,
out.
and then you have Journey Smollett.
Yeah, I think he is on Top Gun
Yeah,
too.
so Journey Smollett is also on there, and she does an amazing
yeah,
job.
Journey.
But the only thing I would say is that like the makeup that they put on her, they made her face look paler than what it is. You know, it was like the foundation was not right.
a good
But I mean,
match.
I was just staring at the TV, like
You could just tell
you could
that.
just
It's
you
like
could tell.
too much. It's too
like
much.
I guess
yeah.
the way the light was hitting her face, you was just like, oh,
Yeah.
like your face and your shoulders, two different complexions.
Yep,
You know?
I gotcha.
That's a little off. But there's so many twists. There's so many like oh my god moments. It is like it's a good movie. It's definitely, I would say, put it on your list to watch.
Okay.
I think it's been in like the top 10 or something like that for a while through Netflix. So I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it might not be everybody else thinks. Some people might have a panic attack if they watch it and be like, oh my God, this could really happen. And like somebody having control over you, that'd be very
it could
scary.
be too much.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it has. It's called Spiderhead. I don't know why it's called Spiderhead.
Oh, it doesn't tell you?
No, I have no idea unless it's something I missed. I don't know why it's called Spiderhead.
Got it.
But yeah, it is on Netflix. And it's really good. Definitely watch it.
Okay.
Check it out.
There you go.
What you
Spiderhead.
got?
All right. So I actually watched Fire Island on Hulu.
Get out of here. You took mine. Now I got to think of something else.
Oh, really?
Well, we can
talk about
join.
it
We can
together.
join. See
We
everybody
can join.
together.
That is
Yes.
too funny. This is a first. I feel like that we have both
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
same show at the
And
same
I would have
time.
not thought of you watching Fire Island.
You don't know me.
Well,
No,
yes,
but
I
stop.
don't. You got Obi-Wan and now Fire Island. I don't know.
But yeah, so Fire Island. So I actually was watching the Today Show, and that's what turned me on, believe it or not, to Fire
really? Okay.
Island, because Bowen Yang, who plays Howie on there, and his real life best friend, Matt Rogers, who plays Luke, they actually were on there talking about just how they've been best friends and they've just done so many different things together, and they were just so excited to be in this movie together. And they had actually both auditioned for Saturday Night Live at the same time, and Bowen got it and Matt didn't. So they were like, that was a little bit of testing of our relationship,
Gotcha,
but
yeah.
you know,
Well,
we're good. We made it.
We digress.
That kind of thing. So, but yeah, so Fire Island is really the story about a group of friends that come together to go to Fire Island, which I didn't realize was a thing
Yeah.
in upstate New York.
Oh, they called
Or not
it
even upstate, I guess.
Gay Disney World. That's what he called it. Gay Disney World.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that line.
And so it's really to party, to hook up, to have fun. And so it's basically like a ferry ride to Fire Island from Long Island. So for anybody who's in Long Island, you can go over to Fire Island. And for decades in real life, gay people, LGBTQIA people have gone to Fire Island. It's a thing. It's been around forever. So therefore, in this show, I guess it's more about all the people who have gone previously, like, hey, have there really been anything about Fire Island that we can kind of make a good show about, or a movie, and make sure people are aware of, and, you know, just all that kind of transpires with that. So the cast I'll go into has Joel Kim Booster, and he plays Noah, so he's like the main character, the narrator.
He's actually the writer. He wrote this.
Oh, he wrote it.
Yeah,
okay,
he wrote
wonderful.
this. Yeah.
So he's kind of the main person on the show, which I guess if you write it, you
you gotta be the star.
You
You
can be the star. And then he has a very good cast of friends. So Bowen Yang from Saturday Night Live plays Howie. So that's one of his friends. He actually has Matt Rogers, who is Luke, as another one of his friends. Thomas Matos, who plays Keegan on the show, and Torrin Miller, who plays Max. And so basically the show kind of starts with all of them getting together. They're getting on the boat. They're going from Long Island over to Fire Island. And the interesting thing for me was, like, as they're riding over and they're getting closer to the island, like, shirts start coming off.
Oh yeah, everybody starts getting naked.
And they're just like, let's pull off, well, just shirts, but basically so that we can show our abs because we're fit and we're cute and we just want people
except
to see
for the
us
one chunky one
when we walk off the boat. But no, there's other people who don't take their shirt off. It was only the ones that feel like they're super hot and they got their bodies ready
because
for
they were
it.
competing.
Yep, exactly. They got their bodies ready for it. So they're like, oh yeah, let's take it off so the boys can see you when we get off the boat, you know? And so I thought that was kind of funny. And then they get there and they meet. I mean, I was like, I hadn't seen Margaret Cho in forever.
Yeah, me either.
Did not know that was even her.
I didn't either.
I said, oh, this would be a great role for Margaret Cho while I'm watching it. And then realized, like, oh, that is Margaret Cho.
I know, I did the same thing.
I hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah, because I feel like the last time that I saw her was like on some TV show in like the early 2000s or something. It was like before 2010 or something.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so she's in there. She's funny. She does a great job. And she's like their mother. So
she's their lesbian mother.
Yep, their lesbian mother. And so she tells some of her own stories of her time on Fire Island and things of that nature. But basically, they come to her house because she, what did they say? The story is that she ate glass as a part of some chain restaurant. And
Italian chain restaurant.
Yeah, so because of that, she ended up getting millions of dollars.
And the tattoo that says all you can eat salad.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And so basically they stay at her house on Fire Island. But unfortunately, this is going to be their last year because she's broke now, has to sell the home, and they all are trying to make this trip to Fire Island like their best trip ever.
The best,
So I'll stop there so that you can share some things and tidbits that you might want to share about.
I didn't like have anything in particular to share. I do want to say I just love how the guys, the energy that they have, because they are like, you can tell they're genuinely friends. They genuinely like hang out with each other. Like how. Oh, I thought it was so funny how like they just was just like, yeah, like the lesbians are mean and masculine, and it's just so funny because I'm like, that's what it is. It's like the guys are like lesbian women probably like, oh, he's like so just like I'm more of a man than he is. Like that's how it is. So now it's like the back, but it's the back and forth. But it's so funny. But then it's like all of the gay guys in the movie are like beautiful, and then the lesbians that they show look like a hot mess, and I think that is so funny. That's hilarious to me. Yeah, okay. But I do like how they because I mean it's just kind of like the little play banter back and forth,
right, yeah,
between the two sexes. But I will say that this like how you can just get like a sneak peek into what happens on Fire Island. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, amazing. They showed some of the like clubbing aspects of it, house parties, you know, just what all can transpire and take place. And, you know, what I gathered from it is that Fire Island is more of probably a young person scene.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You know, it's not really like if you're 50, 60, you're probably not going to Fire Island anymore like you used to before, although you could.
You never know.
But it's just more of the young
it might be those older guys that still have the nice look and everything to take care of themselves who go and find the younger guys.
Yeah, it could be.
So they could be like sugar daddies.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Looking for sugar babies or something like that.
Or the zaddies.
Yeah, the zaddies. But I would tell you, Hulu is killing the game, like how they have their battle. Like they have this battle with Netflix where it's just like, okay, well, we put out this movie. It's like, well, we're going to put out this movie. Yeah. It's like, well, we put out this show. It's like, well, we're going to put out this show. So it's just, I like how it is like it's the battles of the streaming. A lot of things the battles of the streaming. Yeah,
it definitely gives you a lot to watch. Yeah. So, but yeah, the one thing that I will say for this show that I really I don't know if I've seen on anything that I have watched that has an LGBTQIA or any of those letters, but basically is that
Alphabet Mafia.
Yep, there you go. But I, not giving anything away, but I liked how it covered various topics. It wasn't just about gay people partying and having fun, but it was about classism.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely.
Because it was like, the people who had the money versus the ones who don't, and how you even get looked down upon and all of that. So I thought that was something they covered. They covered racism in regards to them always talking about the fact that the main characters were Asian.
Oh yeah, but no, that was so funny. The guy comes up, he was like, "You from Korea? You look Korean."
Exactly. I know.
Are you from the Philippines? You look Filipino. It's like, dude, oh my god. Yeah, and it's sad because I could see that conversation happening.
That people would do that, right? Exactly. Or y'all two are together. It's like looking in a mirror because you look so much alike, and it's like we're not even a couple. We're just friends. Why is it that two guys have to be together? You know. So that part of it, the body shaming piece of it all, you know, and then the part about even, you know, like consent.
Oh yeah,
that was a part that was
consent
in here
was
too,
a part
because I think that people always try to make it seem like gay people are so promiscuous that there's no question of consent, but there is a question of consent, and therefore in here we're still people. We're still people. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it really doesn't. It's not like we're going to be any different. Right, exactly. But I think that especially when you think of shows where you show the male
because of the guys, they're always going to think that they're like whores or whatever.
But and it's just to show like, look, there was a situation in which somebody did not consent and it was addressed. And exactly, I thought that was really important to see.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like other shows that I used to watch, like Queer as Folk, I haven't watched the new version, but the previous, I just felt like they didn't really talk about that as much, or if they did, I just am not recalling it. So I thought that was really good. But and it also has a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean,
so I thought that was really good.
It's still a rom-com.
Yeah,
it's still a rom-com. It still has the same storyline.
Yep, it's just guys.
It's just guys. It's just all guys. It's an all-male cast and Margaret Cho.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Good point.
That's what it is. It's all-male cast, Margaret Cho, and then whatever that one older lesbian lady who comes up and was like, "Can we get out of here?" That one. But that's it. It's all-male cast.
I really enjoyed it, so I just wanted to, share that show. And like I said, if it wasn't for me seeing them on the Today Show, I probably wouldn't have even known anything about that it was on Hulu to watch. But once I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." So
well, since we talked about that one, now I'm gonna have to throw a little Audible in.
Oh, okay, Audible.
All right. So I want to talk about how horrible Verzuz was. Apparently, I have not watched it, but I've seen everything on social media that has been talking about it. Ray J can no longer sing. Then try to hold his son, trying to say that his son was the reason why his voice was cracking. Of course.
I saw Sammy, that you sent me a TikTok on that.
Sammy, who sings Kiss Me Through the Phone, came up, killed everybody. Nobody realized that his voice, because when you tell me he was like a little boy. Now he's a grown man and his voice is so strong.
It's really good. Yeah, and I didn't even know the person who sung Kiss Me Through the Phone was Sammy. And I didn't even really remember Kiss Me Through the Phone until he started singing it. And I was like, that song. I forgot about that.
And then, let me see, Pleasure P was doing a lot. He sounded okay. He sounded okay. Like he got down off the stage and was singing to this one girl in the audience, and they was just like, "Oh, we can do that." Bobby Valentino.
I think that was Omarion. That was Pleasure P.
No, Omarion. I will get there.
Okay, sorry.
But no, because what they did was they did a pre-verses to the verses. So I guess they were just like, okay, so Mario and Omarion would be good going up against each other. Okay. But we got to think about all of these other, younger male singers that came out around this time that didn't have that big. They weren't as popular, or they didn't have 20 songs in their catalog.
Yeah, exactly. So you couldn't do it verses.
Yeah, but you can do it. Like you can get all of them together, and people would like to see that. So that's what they did. But Bobby Valentino,
I can't remember what song is it that Bobby Valentino
Slow Down. Slow down. I just want to get to know you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, but. He couldn't sing that night.
Yeah, that's what when you sent me that TikTok, the guy was saying that the people, you could tell the difference from the people who truly can sing and have a good voice versus the people who can't sing and needed auto-tune.
Sammy goes up to Ray J and starts singing his song to him and says, "I sung your song better than you did."
They were talking so much, and it was weird because they are R&B artists. To hear them talking like rappers, challenging each other, it was just a bit.
to you it was, but I mean, I feel like that's just the male ego in general.
Yeah, because even Ray J
I feel like it's just like maybe it's just like this that celebrity artist feeling, because it's just like you want to put on a show for the audience,
right?
And you got to joke on each other.
Yeah, I guess
you
so.
either get together and like you lift each other up like Saraka Khan and Stephanie Mills did,
yes, that was awesome.
Or you just you talk crap to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think SWV and didn't SWV and Escape, didn't they talk crap to each other too? I think they talked a little crap to each other.
Maybe slightly, maybe a little, but it wasn't to the point of what these dudes did.
But I mean, but that's what guys do though.
Yeah,
guys do that. It's like telling your mama jokes. It's gonna happen.
It's just gonna happen.
But so yes, that was just amazing how Sammy just came out the gate and just killed them all, and Ray J should just go ahead and retire.
Yeah, he did sound terrible.
Just
whether he was holding his son or not, it was like you still sing from the diaphragm. I learned that in chorus in high school.
Yeah, right. But he's best of luck to him. God bless his little pudding heart.
So bad.
Bless his little pudding heart.
And then he was like, and y'all coming in singing my song and coming in on my song and stuff. And it was like they were trying to help you out. Dude.
Yeah, they're trying to help you out and throw shade at the same time.
At the same time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
But okay, so now Omarion and Mario. I haven't heard anything bad about Mario.
Okay.
Omarion, I don't know what he was doing. He had the microphone. He's down on the ground. He got his leg up in the air. He's like grinding. People don't even know the song that he's singing. It was so much happening.
Sounds weird.
I don't know how much.
Awkward.
How much does Timbaland and Swiss Beats give them to drink before they go on the stage?
Well, I think they feel like the more they give people to drink, the better of a
show would be more entertaining.
Not even a show, better hot mess that they will have. Because the hot mess
I don't think they want
attention.
I don't think they want the hot mess, because I feel like Timbaland and Swiss Beats don't want the hot mess. If you didn't want the hot mess,
you could have stopped giving them the Ciroc.
Yeah, but you know what? It probably is. They probably just have a bar in the back, and that's probably all it is.
Yeah, and
these people just going up to the bar thing.
A lot of these people doing verses, like when you have Snoop, he's always performing, he's always doing stuff. But a lot of these other people, they're not performing all the time, and they might need to just get some drinks to get the liquid courage to go out on the stage and perform. So therefore, they just might be overdoing it.
Yeah.
But I think it should be more limited. I think we should be able to get the best of these folks in.
So you ain't like how Keith Sweat was doing it?
I didn't see Keith. What are you talking about?
What? Yeah, Keith Sweat was up there with his glass.
Nah. That's unnecessary and uncalled for. But no, I just feel like I need to see, like if I am a fan, right, I want to see the best performance. So like that's why I feel like in the very beginning.
I don't know if I would want to see the best performance if I would just want to see that person as they are.
Well,
and if you're a drunk, you're a drunk. That's cool.
Well, but are you a drunk, or did you just get drunk because the alcohol was there?
Yeah,
that particular moment, and does that now have a whole different precedent?
But I feel like you being drunk has nothing to do with your voice, though.
No, it doesn't.
Because even though Saraka Khan was 3 sheets in the wind, she was still hitting them. She was hitting them notes.
She was hitting the notes. I gotta say, she really was. Yeah, she might not have remembered the words, but she was hitting the notes.
She was hitting the notes. But,
oh my goodness! But I would say this. So for the first one that they did with Teddy Riley and Babyface, right? I remembered everybody being frustrated because Babyface was ready, right?
Yeah.
Teddy Riley couldn't get everything technically
and then didn't Teddy Riley have a whole bunch of people in his house?
Well,
during COVID.
Well, it was the height of COVID, and they were both at their own homes doing what they had to do, and both of them have a bunch of hits. Like they had 2 hours worth of hits for sure, to go through, an hour apiece basically. And so what ended up happening was when Teddy Riley couldn't get everything going, everybody's like, man, like we were ready for like a true battle here, and now we're not even able to hear what's going on and the technical issues, and you should have got this straight. So then when it came back, then I think Teddy felt like he had to do even more and go over the top and have all these people at his house and all that. And then, Babyface being Babyface is him, a piano and a guitar. Like he ain't need anything else to sing flawlessly, And
shout out to him because he has a new song out.
But he also threw shade, now that I'm thinking about it, because he said to Teddy, he was like, yeah, and this is just me. I don't need all of that. I don't need an entourage, So it was kind of like,
but when they throw shade, it's not serious. They just, joking around with each other. It's not like, there's only been one fight on the stage, and that was Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3-6 Mafia.
I didn't even
And that fight was literally just a water bottle thrown. And that was it. And
it's unnecessary.
But it was just they was talking smack to each other, joking around, and then somebody took it seriously.
Took it personally. Yeah,
that's all it was. Mm-hmm. But so Mario, he as far as I heard, he did okay. Omarion, nobody. He could not sing. He did not sound good.
Interesting.
And he's like humping onto the microphone stand, and he's crawling on the ground. He's using the microphone, pretending like it's his penis. Like, it was a lot happening.
No bueno.
Yeah. I want them to do like a Latin Verzuz.
Oh, some Latin artists.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be good. That would be good. Yeah, I wonder who they would pick.
I don't know. You're gonna do someone like
you'd have to have.
You know who would probably be good to do, even though it's not fully Latin. But if you did like Flo Rida versus Pitbull.
I mean, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't like it. It doesn't have to be televised. It could just be a playlist. Yeah, seriously, like that's.
But I'm thinking like.
But if it was gonna be a Latin, no, but no, that one just popped in my head.
Yeah.
But no, if it was a true Latin one, it would probably be something like I would say, Nicky Jams and like I don't know, maybe J Balvin and somebody else. Something like that, because that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So there you go. So you watched the whole Verzuz?
No, that thing was 4 hours. I watched the highlights. On social media.
Got you. I was trying to think of his name. Prince Royce. He would be a good one.
Oh yeah, Prince Royce versus Romeo Santos. Bam.
There you go.
Hey, if anybody's listening, Swiss Beats.
Oh, you got Bad Bunny?
Timbaland.
I mean, you got so many people that you could have.
But if you can do Romeo, and if you could do Romeo Santos
and Prince
Royce.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could do them, because I like them both. But if you could do them two in the Verzuz, that would be amazing.
It would. Yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and put that on somebody's Instagram.
Yeah. Let's put that. We gotta make sure that when this does happen.
You heard
it here first, and we want our royalties. Okay,
there you go.
We want our royalties. But no, the Verzuz was a disaster, I guess. So, if you want good, clean, fun entertainment, please watch the 4-hour Verzuz. Or at least just have it in the background while you cleaning or something, so you can just pop over and like look at what's happening when somebody's acting a fool, and just be like, I can't believe, and then go back and do what you know. But yes, all right. So what do you have next?
I next have The Staircase on HBO Max.
Okay.
So The Staircase is written about a true story of a gentleman by the name of Michael Peterson and his wife Kathleen Peterson, and so they have a show that's on Netflix.
Yeah, have you already talked about that?
No,
you haven't. Okay,
it's a show on Netflix. I was going to talk about it another week, but we were running out of time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I didn't talk about it. Yeah, so but they have a Netflix show on that is episodes of the real trial and all that kind of stuff, and then they had this kind of reenactment TV show that they even made look very much like the actual documentary in regards to
awesome.
it. Interestingly enough, the documentary that is on Netflix was produced by some Parisians, some folks from France who came over and, recorded it and was talking to him and all of that. And in this HBO show, they have the French, like, people who are pretending to be the documentarians. Is that how you say it? I don't know. Anyway.
The documentary makers.
Yes, correct. And they are, a part of the show. Which is
kind of cool. It's neat, but
And then when you're watching the court cases and stuff, it's like, how in a documentary the camera moves a different way and it might be looking at the judge and then swing around and look at the defendant or whatever. And it's like all that stuff kind of happens on the TV show too, which is pretty cool. So anyway, but talking about judges and defendants and all of that, you need to know what happened.
True. Very, very much so.
It's a story about a wife who falls down a staircase while the husband says he was in the backyard near the pool just hanging out. They both were out there. She said she had to go back into the house to get a few things done for work the next morning, and she was going to go to bed. He stayed out there a while longer after she had left him, and when he came inside, she was at the bottom of the staircase, but it was blood everywhere.
Oh, God.
So then it becomes, if she just fell down the staircase, why is there so much blood? Like, what is this about? Like, this just doesn't make any sense, right? And so let's go into the cast. So the cast has Colin Firth. So he is playing Michael Peterson. And, Colin Firth, he, has been a huge actor for a very long time, doing a lot of different things. So you have Toni Collette. Everybody pretty much probably knows her too.
Absolutely.
So she plays the wife, Kathleen Peterson. You have Patrick Schwarzenegger, who plays one of the sons. And so Todd Peterson, who I think even right now may be like a person who, when all the social media started up, he became like an influencer from back then in real life. You have Sophie Turner, who is from Game of Thrones. And so Cersei. Sorry, I couldn't remember how she used to say her name. But anyway, Cersei. So she plays Margaret. Then you have Parker Posey. Remember Parker Posey?
No.
Like, we haven't seen her in forever. So, you don't remember? Okay, but yeah, so she's great. You have Olivia DeJonge. You have Michael Stolberg. You have, it's because the thing is their whole family was like, how many kids was it? So they adopted 2 kids. They had 2 kids, and then she had 1 kid. So it's like all these different children all mixed together. So he had 2 kids. He had adopted 2 kids. She had 1 kid. I don't think they had any kids together. So that's kind of how all of that plays in together. But they had a very mixed family in regards to that. Okay. And so all the stepbrothers and sisters cared and, liked each other, all of that. So you can see that throughout the show. And the whole thing is that when it came out that she was at the bottom of the staircase and there's all this blood, you're like, how is that possible if he was the only person there? If she hit her head, okay, maybe you'll have some blood on a certain part of a door frame or on a stair. Or a handle, a bar, something like that. But you're not going to have blood everywhere and blood coming out of her mouth and blood, just all this stuff. So, of course, he gets arrested after time, has a trial. And that's really what the story is all about. It's about the trial. Did he do it? Didn't he do it? Another very strange scenario to this is the neighbor said a bird did it. So then you're like, how in the world did a bird do it? But then as the documentary folks are trying to pull everything together, they're like, oh my gosh, like the marks on her head, they showed the marks on her head and it looked like 3 scrapes, in different areas.
Like talons.
Yes. Yeah. So it did look like talons if you looked at it. And they did in this neighborhood have signage out to say that there were birds that were attacking people. And so to be mindful of that and be careful walking around or certain times of the day or night because of the fact that these birds would swoop down and just attack people.
So the bird was supposed to be in the house?
No. They were saying that there was evidence that there was not earlier in the day, because it was right before Christmas, I believe. So there was not any lawn ornaments in regards to these, mechanical deers and different things like that. Like there wasn't any earlier in the day per any evidence. And then that night after she was found dead, there was one out there. So they were wondering okay, she came in the house from leaving her husband at the pool. Mm-hmm. She came inside. She realized, let me just take this ornament out there. So she took the ornament out, got attacked by the bird, came back into the house, trying to she was disoriented, fell down the stairs, and because the bird had already scratched her scalp, that might have caused all the blood, and then her hitting her head, in addition to that, could have made it where blood was coming out of her mouth and all this kind of stuff too. So anyway, that's and then they said literally from autopsy reports that she did have feathers in her hair. So then you're like, well, it sounds so far-fetched, but maybe that is a possibility.
If
you know what I mean? Who knows? So anyway, you're like, did she have, so then they go through all these scenarios. So they literally show, okay, if that was the scenario, the show actually takes you through, okay, how would that look? And they
really? They show you?
They show a bird attack her.
I like
they show
that.
her come in the house.
I like how they do
show
that.
her go up the stairs. They show her fall down the stairs. They show how she died and how he came in and found her. Then they have the scenario of, okay, what if she just went up the stairs on her own? She had just had too much to drink that night. She fell down the stairs. How could she have fallen down the stairs and caused this kind of injury for herself? And then it was, what if he did it? So then it's like, okay, what if he had something to do with her dying, and what would that look like? So you see all these different scenarios of how she could have died. So poor, the poor Colette having to do this over and over again as an actress.
Or even if it's not her that's falling down the steps, that poor daredevil or whatever. Good Lord.
Yeah,
that stunt person got to have some bruises.
Yep, exactly. So so it was great to kind of watch it all unfold, and then finding out do the kids believe their father? Who is their father?
Were the kids in the house? How you know the kids didn't do it?
Well, one of the sons was at the house.
I'm not cleaning my room, Mom.
No, they were all older than that.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of them was by there because he had stopped, and he said, look, when I left, both of them were on the couch watching a movie from Blockbuster, cracking up laughing. That's what was happening when I left. And then next thing you know, she's dead at the bottom of the staircase, So what also comes out is all the promiscuous behavior of the husband.
Oh.
So then that becomes potential motive. So these are all things that, of course, this has been a court case since the early 2000s, so people could probably find this out anywhere. But all this stuff is kind of just the surface of what this show
what's going on,
can provide. So you have so many scenarios, so many levels. Do all the kids believe in their father? Do some of them not believe in their father? Then you have a scenario where the father, for the adoptive daughters that he has, guess what? Their mother died falling down a staircase. How does that happen? So, how does one person in their life have two people who have died falling down the staircase? Now, hers was deemed a aneurysm. Okay. So then it just goes to, okay, how, did he do it? Didn't he do it? What is going on? And then it goes into the court case. It goes into any acquittals, any retrials, any whatever. It's so many different layers to it. So I found it to be a little slow, honestly. Some of the pieces of it just were a little slower than others. But for the most part, it was entertaining and engaging enough that I wanted to watch it all the way through. And now I probably will go back and watch the Netflix reality one, the real one that the French, directors made. So that I can kind of contrast and compare. But they seem to make it almost spot on.
I'm about to say, if they have that in there, I feel like it would probably be exact.
Yeah, so and then how the kids reacted. Yeah. At one point, both girls dyed their hair blue at the bottom. It was one color at the top and blue at the bottom. And I'm pretty sure when I watched the documentary, the girls are going to have blue hair. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is just what they were doing to show how accurate they were trying to be with their depictions.
Which is smart.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I thought The Staircase was a very good TV show to watch. Hour-long episodes. It was, I think, 8 episodes. Okay. So, but yeah, pretty good. And I at first thought that the other show, remember Close, where we were watching
when we were watching it,
and if that was similar, because that wife also ended up at the bottom of a staircase.
Yeah,
I think it was I think it could have been, that happened in America. What could we do as a different storyline of a woman landing at the bottom but lives? Yeah. So I think that could be something that they decided to do. But anyway, that's what I had, The Staircase.
Okay. All right. And you said that's on Netflix, right?
Nope, that's on HBO Max.
On HBO Max.
But the one that's
documentary,
the real documentary is on Netflix. And they're both out right now at the same time, which is kind of crazy too.
Which is probably actually really smart, because then it's going to make the
people
the numbers
will go from
up.
one to the other. So when you talk about
Netflix is they smart. They smart. They smart over there at the flickies.
Yeah, their stock is going down though, but that's another conversation for another day. But if anybody wants to buy some stock in Netflix, this is probably the time to do it before it goes back up. But
all right, so I'm gonna go back to Hulu.
Okay.
Hulu. And I'm going to talk about the new M. Night Shyamalan movie called Old.
I have seen a preview for that or trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the movie is about a family of 4. They go on vacation, and it's like an awesome resort where like they meet you with drinks, and the manager comes and meets you, and he'll go check you in. He already knows your names. Like when you pull up, it's like you're being a celebrity.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, with the family, there's 2 younger kids. So the kids are, they're making friends. Everything is all good. The manager asked them, it's like, hey, would you all, would y'all like to know about this private beach? Like y'all don't really know what y'all are going to be doing while you're here. There's a private beach. It's going to be like a secret, and I can go ahead and set everything up to make sure that y'all can get there. And then it gets weird from there because that's when it totally changes. Like within the first, God, I don't know, 10 minutes, it goes straight M. Night Shyamalan because his mind works.
It's different.
Yeah, very differently. And I actually like his stuff too. Mm-hmm. But so basically there's supposed to be like a secret place where it's like a secluded island where like beach or whatever where you're supposed to go to, and then they're like the family of 4 sitting on a little shuttle, and then like a family of 4 more come on the shuttle, and then a husband and wife. So this is like, where are they? So now like the couple that you're following is like, so it's supposed to be a secret, huh?
Yeah, like how is it a secret if this many people
going? So it gets weird from there. M. Night Shyamalan is the driver because he has to be in his own movie.
To be in his own movies, yeah.
Be in his own movies. So he's the driver, tells everybody which way to go to the thing. He gives them food, like the resort gives them food and everything for them to take to the beach, and they're like, we're only going to be here for a couple of hours. Like, we don't need all this food. He was like, no, better safe than sorry. Take all the food. I'm like, okay. And it's like picnic baskets that are like the size of, I don't know, like a storage container.
Yeah, I think I'd be like, I can get off now. I don't think I want to go on this trip.
Yeah. I mean, like, and he's just like, yeah, if you just walk, he's like, I got to go back to the resort, but if you just walk down here and through this little cave area, you're going to see the most beautiful beach. They did. It's beautiful. But then there's just one random black guy sitting there.
Okay.
By himself. But then you already saw the random black guy earlier when they show the beach before. He's there with a young lady, and the young lady is not at the beach anymore.
Okay.
But he's just there by himself. So that's when it gets weird, because now it's just like you're adding on one more person. No, like, where's the chick that we just saw jump into the ocean?
Right.
We can't find her anywhere. That's weird. Then it goes into, why is his nose bleeding? His nose is just profusely bleeding, just nonstop. And he's just like, I don't know how my nose is bleeding.
It's like, get out.
Yeah, yeah. Just like bleeding, like nonstop. Like he even has like a handkerchief that he's just constantly wiping his nose. And then I think I know why his nose is bleeding, but then it could be 2 reasons. But I don't want to get into that though.
Yeah.
I don't want to get no spoilers. So it does go haywire from there. So you see the younger kids, when they first get there, they're like 6 and 10. That's how old these kids are.
Okay.
After the first 30 minutes of the movie, now they're like, I don't know, preteens.
Oh, wow.
Because this island makes you get older.
So is it a spoiler to know why
Nobody knows why.
Well, I guess I was just trying to figure out, why do they keep sending people out there to get older?
Nobody knows why. I didn't understand that.
The same age.
I didn't understand.
The more people you feed to the island to get older, the more you stay your age and stay younger.
It's like a sacrifice.
I don't know.
I mean, it's like there's some stuff that they talk about in it, but I don't want to give that up either. Yeah,
don't give any spoilers.
But no, it's weird. It ends up being dead bodies around.
Like old bodies that just died because
it's like people are dying, like, and then there's like a whole bunch of just random stuff out in the beach. It's like, why is there all this random stuff? And then you looking through the stuff. I mean, like, you could definitely tell that they have dropped more people there, and these are all those people's belongings, and like the sand has now been pushed up on it because there's no way to get off.
So once you get off of that ride, that he gives you out there that you can't get back to the resort.
Yeah, you're stuck. There is fights. There is like stabbings. There is. It's really good. I think it's good. I think.
I thought you were gonna say like it's really a dangerous place. You're like it's really good.
No, it's good. No, I mean like it is good how the movie is made.
Yeah, but it's just it can.
But but I will say this: it's one of those movies. Just like why am I even watching this?
Yes, of course.
Because I already know like everybody's getting old, and but then it's like, but why is everyone getting old?
Let me see if they'll give me an answer.
Yeah,
to that
and then
question.
that's just what it is, and I feel like it never. M. Night Shyamalan never does that.
No,
in any
he likes
he
to
never
leave
gives the
things
answer.
to your
own.
own.
He likes to do the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, where you just got to use your imagination.
Yeah, I mean, well, he did give you something in The Sixth Sense, right?
Oh, yeah, The Sixth Sense. Okay.
He did give you something towards the end.
The
of
Village
that
was
one.
weird. Did you watch
Village?
The Village?
I never watched.
Village was super weird.
Signs.
Yeah. Did he
didn't
do The
give you
Happenings?
much.
Did he do The Happenings?
I feel like he did. Yeah.
The Happenings. Yeah.
That one I didn't watch either.
Signs.
But
He didn't. Signs. I don't remember getting anything at the end of Signs, but it's been a while since I've seen
but
that
you know,
movie.
it could be one of those things.
There's amoebas in it. You know that?
And it could be that you watch some YouTube video of somebody going through exactly what happened and recapping it. Next thing you know, it's like,
oh, that makes sense. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to do that when we're done with this.
Yeah, maybe. So.
But I enjoyed it because of the fact that I wanted to know why, and then I wanted to see how fast the kids were going to grow, and which kids were growing. There's a baby in the movie. Like the baby just. I swear they were there. I feel like they were there for. They were there for like a day.
I wonder if somebody came, they were pregnant, didn't know they were pregnant, and then the baby got born?
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Somebody gets pregnant, baby pops.
Oh, gosh. All right.
It's weird, but it moves fast in the beginning and then it starts to slow down. But it's kind of like it's kind of heartfelt. But I'm just like an empath, so it's heartfelt to me. But like how the parents were, how their relationship was throughout the movie, how you see their relationship throughout the movie.
Okay, that's
good. How you see the other couple, how you see their relationship throughout the movie. This one lady who is very, she's very. Was it superficial? Is that the word I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
And like she's all about her looks, and she tells her daughter, "Sweetie, you don't hunch over because that's not attractive," and then guys don't like that. And then like it gets into it later on. She has like hunchback. So I mean, like it goes. Yeah. It touches different bases. I enjoyed it. It keeps you asking questions.
Yeah, and wanting to continue to watch. Yeah. Okay.
But the cast is Gael Garcia Bernal. I don't know if you know him. I believe he is a French actor. I've seen him on a couple of things. You got Vicky Krieps, which I don't remember seeing her or anything, but I think she might be an actress from over in Europe.
Okay.
Rufus Sewell, which he has played. If you've ever watched Knight's Tale, he was the prince that was in A Knight's Tale that Heath Ledger was going up against. And Alex Wolff, who is another great actor. There's a bunch of them that were in there, but I would tell you this: Nikki. Was it Nikki Amuka Bird? She does amazing.
Oh, okay.
Her part is amazing. How she made you really think that that's what's happening and she's not acting. Amazing. It's really good.
Okay.
But that's all. So check it out. It is called Old and it is on Hulu.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the last topic I have today is a controversial one. And I know that we don't always talk anything controversial and politics and all of that.
We're going there.
But I'm going to go there because I feel like it would be a disservice not to. Okay. So, but not deep, just high-level observations. Okay. Just observations, more so than probably opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with that, because I'm going to keep my opinion to myself.
Yeah. I'm just going to do
Let's make sure we all keep our jobs.
Keep our jobs, yep, exactly.
We're going to keep our opinions to ourselves.
Yep, but it's about this week, the overturning of Roe versus Wade. So it was a legislative, Supreme Court case that was passed back in 1973. January 22nd to be exact. Yeah. And I am going to be turning 50 this year. And I'm like, wow, my entire life, basically, there has been a Roe versus Wade. Yeah. And then it got overturned on yesterday. I don't know when people will be listening to this, but that was June 24th, 2022, that it got overturned by the Supreme Court in a ruling where the majority said that the states themselves can decide whether or not abortions can be legal or not.
Can I just say something really quick about that?
Sure.
So if the government is saying the states themselves can say what's going to be illegal and is what's going to be legal. So now we are not the United States of America. Now we're just individual states of America because we have other laws that are like that too. All of our laws are per state.
But that's what I was going to say. So this is no different than any other laws. But they're saying weird. That our main constitutional laws are under the United States of America. Yeah. Right to bear arms, right for free speech. Excuse me, all those things are considered to be a part of what the United States is all about. But whenever you have a court case, I'm sure there are any things that can come out of it. And when things change and you have different points of view and perspectives, things can get overturned, overruled, whatever the case may be.
Sure.
And so based on that, I just feel like it's interesting that, again, with me being here for 50 years and I don't have any children, but if I had children or grandchildren, to know that for the females that their rights in regards to
you could be a grandma. Sorry.
I could be a grandmother right now. Yeah, but their rights are very different than any rights that I would have had. And it almost feels like it is less rights than I would have had growing up that my children or grandchildren would have at this point in their lives. So, again, just fact, not opinion, just fact. But also I feel like it's interesting because It sounds like it's about the right, for, pro-life, right?
Yeah, pro-life, yeah.
But I'm almost wondering, and this, I don't know if it's an opinion or not, but it's just a question. I'll say it's more of a question. If it's more pro-birth is really what the topic is about. Because if you think about it, it's not about the lives that the children will lead once they are born. Mm-hmm. It's just about making sure and ensuring they're born. Okay. But then there aren't, as that I am aware of, and I could be wrong, but if there are there different legislation or the Supreme Court coming up with other things that are also going to make sure that now that women in certain states don't have the right to do what they want with their body, and they have to have the child, other than like incest, rape, different things like that. Life of the mother, I think, was another one, if she could die. So, but anything outside of that, if she is told she has to now have the child in these states, then does that mean that they're going to have free, milk? Formula?
Free
prenatal care or parental courses for this parent.
They're going to say that's what we have WIC for. That's what we have your food stamps. That's why we have all of this stuff.
I would think that if you're trying to make sure that the life of this child in a pro-life scenario,
I agree. I got
that this life of this child is such that they are afforded some of the same luxuries that maybe even some of the Supreme Court justices or Congress people or senators or whatever could also be afforded. It just seems like it's more about pro-birth. Let's make sure that people have the children. Yeah. And I get that argument. I am not saying anything in regards
because you can still put the child up for adoption.
Right. That's true too. Yeah. And we have plenty of children already in foster care as well. No. So, it's like, is it just about the birth or is it truly about the life? Yeah. And so that's where, and again, I'm just asking the question. Because I do feel like if it were more about the life, then maybe it would be more like, oh, you're going to be a new mom. Here's some parental courses that you can take because maybe you're a teenage mom.
Okay, setting it up like that, yeah.
Here's a program in which you can go and get free formula, which we already know formula is in a shortage right now that nobody can really get formula at this point. There's just been, if you go to a grocery store, there's barely anything on the shelves. And every kid can't do breast milk because some kids are allergic to their parents, their mom's breast milk.
Or else they don't latch on.
Or they don't latch.
Or the mother just doesn't produce the milk.
Right. Exactly, and it's just not enough for that
it's not
kid
enough
to
for
sustain,
the nourishment,
to be sustainable. So, anyway, I just felt like I needed to bring that up because it was such a monumental decision. One that it sounds like a lot of people are extremely concerned about, but yet a lot of people are, it's one of those things that it was like, the verdict came out, this is what's going to happen. And there was a lot of protests, but also a lot of praise. There were a lot of people who were saying, hey, this is great. We've been wanting this for years. This is the way that it should have been. And I personally feel like it's great for people to feel however they want to feel about it. That's what I would say. I just feel like it's interesting to infringe upon somebody's rights because in my opinion, and this will be my opinion, if we were to say to every male who can have children into their 70s, 80s, 90s, I mean, they can have kids their whole lives. If we were to say to men, you know what, at the age of 55, you're going to have to get a vasectomy, period. You can no longer have children because you won't live long enough to raise raise this child.
Oh, wow.
If that was a rule that had to go out and said you no longer have control, this is going to have to happen. I don't know how would we think that would go over? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it wouldn't go over.
Right. So it's still about, what's going on with reproduction. Yeah. Just in a different way, of course. So I'm not saying it's apples and oranges, but I'm just saying it's the part about what you can do with your body and what you can't do with your body, basically. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that would be.
They should just give out free, birth control and free condoms and stuff.
Well, I have heard, and I don't know how true this is, but that's the next thing on the agenda is limiting the amount of contraception that people can get.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we're just going to overpopulate the world and destroy it.
I don't think that the anticipation is overpopulation. I think that the fear is that there isn't enough population, and therefore that is why they want to ensure that there will be population. So it's one of those things that would get more political, so I don't want to go into it, but it's definitely an agenda in regards to, the background of why they would say, well, you can't have abortions, but also we don't want to give you as much contraception access as you have had to this point. Now, again, I don't know if my understanding of hearing that on news, like it was on the news, it wasn't just me hearing it on somebody's Facebook page or Instagram or anything, but I don't know if my understanding of that is accurate. So I probably shouldn't even speak to it because I haven't, seen a Supreme Court justice say that they're trying to minimize it. But at the same time, it's that, if we start seeing, for example, that condoms go from being whatever price they are now to being $40, $50, $60, that is going to show that people just aren't going to afford it. So guess what? More people are going to get knocked up. If you're not going to have access to being able to do...
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to do away with the Plan B pill. Maybe that's what that is.
I don't know.
Because I wonder if they're going to be like that. That's going to be
maybe that's a level of contraception that they were alluding to, potentially. Yeah. And then, so that could be next on the agenda, so to speak.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I mean, different people have different thoughts, different opinions.
And we live in the land of the free, in the home of the brave, so we can have any speech. Yeah, we can say anything. You can feel it the way you feel.
Right, exactly. I just wanted to state some things that were facts, when it started, when it ended, the rights that I had, being in my 20s, 30s, 40s, I'm knocking on 50s door, I don't think I have anything to worry about. But, for kids or grandkids or whatever, and what their opportunities potentially would be, in regards to anything with that. Not saying that anybody would even want to. Like, if I had a grandkid, they might be like, absolutely not. I would never even think of doing anything that. You just never know.
Like, all right, that's
and
all
it's
you.
all everybody's opinion. It's what they want to do.
Very
and
true.
so, therefore, I just felt like at the minimum, I just needed to bring this up as a topic because it's a huge one. And, we talk about everything, so this is something. So
no, that's true. That's very true.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us this week on Sestra-Tainment.
Sestra-Tainment.
We will talk to you next week, same time, same station.
Hey.
Everybody have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye.